QLZ Green Room edition. We were talking with Kay and Tristin and Robert of Eyes Like Midnight. How you doing, everybody?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having us.
It's good to have you. People might know Robert. They might remember you from Sleep Signals. Obviously, the flag in the background. You guys played here a couple times in 116-degree heat index the last time you were here. It's the only time you've ever played in shorts, correct?
I think so. Yeah. I remember that that show is hard to forget. Yeah.
That was a very, very fun day of like 5 straight days here in Springfield of like 100+ degree heat index and just sweating like crazy. You walked outside, you sweated within 30 seconds. It was absolutely wonderful. I don't know. How'd you guys even do a show that night? I don't know if I asked you. Everybody's super sweaty. How'd you even pull that off that night?
Yeah, I mean, we drank a lot of Gatorade, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have our AC either. It was
No.
Our AC was out too. It was bad. That sucked. I remember that very well.
Is the AC still is it still not working in the RV?
So yeah, our bus AV, our bus AC, we've paid like $10,000 to fix it. I think now between the 4 or 5 times we fixed it, and it's still not working. So I think we're before we head out this summer on the road, we're just going to completely replace the whole unit.
There you go. That's probably the best way to go. So again, Eyes Like Midnight. It's good to see you, buddy. We've known each other about 5 years now. Kay and Tristin are new members in your band, Eyes Like Midnight. And again, I haven't asked the question in a long time of how a band kind of formed and came together. But since this is such a new project, you've had a lot of good success. Stations across the country are picking up the song. I mean, if you look at your streaming, if you look at the the social media numbers, what you've all been able to do in such a short time, this has come together really well. So kind of how this group all come together.
Yeah, so I mean, Tristin and I knew each other for quite a while. He had done some tours with Sleep Signals, filling in for us on bass, and his old band. We had done a tour together back in like 2016, 2017, something like that. And yeah, as far as guitar goes, we had held auditions. Kay crushed her audition, and said all the right things and all that kind of stuff. So here we are.
It's great. How's it been, Kay, for you and Tristin? How's it been forming this new project?
It's been a really awesome experience. Rob and I have always had a really good relationship, and the music that we've had coming out it's just phenomenal. And seeing all the response that we've had in the past several weeks has been really, really cool experience. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Now, you had a lot of music, like a lot. Like I think you have 15 songs already.
Yeah, we've got 15 tracks ready to go. We've only released the one. We've got another track that's going to be dropping pretty soon here in a couple of weeks, I think, or even less. The 14th? June 14th, I think. But yeah, it's we've been really busy in the studio. We've got plans to go back and knock out a bunch more. We're a very busy project right now.
It is. Now, was this music you were working on? Because I know Sleep Signals came to an end kind of like late 2023, and you and I are friends on Facebook, and I know there's some other avenues that you were looking to do with music and trying out some different music. Was this that project, or was that something completely different? Yeah, this is that project.
This project creatively it's a lot different than Sleep Signals. It's been a lot of fun. It's been, I've been able to kind of expand, kind of what the boundaries of what rock and metal and that kind of stuff is. I've always been a really big fan of like modern pop and 80s pop music and stuff like that. So we're kind of, taking a lot of different pop aspects and synthwave and that kind of stuff and kind of merging it into the metal stuff. And honestly, the last studio session that I had out in Kansas, I think during the same session, I wrote like the poppiest song I've ever written before and the heaviest song I've ever written before, like in the same session. So it was really cool. It's been a lot of fun.
How much have you enjoyed? Like you said, you're kind of blending some stuff. What's the journey been like? Again, just overall, just in the amount of just enjoyment you're getting. Do you feel like maybe there's something refreshed with you to get it? I mean, again, you and I've had a lot of conversations about Sleep Signals and what you guys did, but is there something kind of like refreshing and something maybe energizing about just going on and taking on a new project?
It is, yeah. And I mean, honestly, I was really afraid of, letting Sleep Signals go. That had been a project I've been involved with for about 10 years. And I've poured a lot of time, energy, money into that project. And, honestly, it was really terrifying to kind of let go of that. But it has been really refreshing. We've had a lot of early success with this project so far. Like you mentioned, the streaming numbers have been really great. A lot of radio stations, picking up Digital Deity, and amazing response so far to the first single. I know I mentioned on Facebook the other day, like I'm really nervous about the second single because I've just never released anything like that before, and it's a really synthwave heavy track. It's also got like a really heavy breakdown in it, yeah, it's. I've never been more nervous or excited about a release, than we are this one that's coming on next. It's been a wild ride for sure.
I love hearing that though. Like it's super cool to hear. Like you've been doing. Sleep Signals was 10 years. You've been doing music for a long time, and after that many years, you're still like, man, this is the most. I'm nervous. So I think it's you found a good avenue and you found the right path to go to continue doing this. Was it hard to want to continue and start a new project? Was that something you were always like, I got to get another band going? Or was it like, maybe I should just not bother doing music anymore?
I mean, I don't think I can ever quit doing music. It's just, it's a lot of who I am. It's just like my identity, frankly, I'm just not happy when I'm not doing music, So it's like, just any time that I'm not doing music, I really long for it and I really want to be doing it. So it's hard for me not to be involved in one way, shape, or form,
Yeah. And then Eyes Like Midnight, again, the Digital Deity, it's the track that we're playing right now on New on Q. We've done our spotlight on it. And again, man, this project's so new. What do you want our listeners to know about this track? Again, it's always fun to go back and play some clips of the interview during the morning show for our listeners. So what would all of you like us to know about this track and our listeners to know about this track?
Yeah, I mean, Digital Deity is really just, we were kind of, the song is kind of just about all of the developments that are going on in the world right now with AI, artificial intelligence. And, just the impacts that it has on our day-to-day life, the impacts that it's having on art right now. It's crazy. It's wild. You can, there are artists that are writing tracks, writing songs via AI. We've definitely, we've dabbled with it a little bit just to see what it's all about. And it's really interesting. I don't know that it can ever fully replace, humans writing music. But it is really interesting to dabble with and just see the kinds of things that it comes up with. Sometimes it's really funny. Sometimes it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really just, Digital Deity is just about the way that AI is impacting all of our lives. And I'm not saying that it's like a Terminator situation where AI is going to like take over and robots are going to start killing people off. But it is interesting to think about stuff like socially, politically, the influence and just AI falling into the wrong hands and bad players that are kind of using AI to, impacts like the outcome of elections or political things or social things. And it's scary. It's an interesting time to be alive, I guess.
Well, even on social media, the amount of like AI photos that people fall for.
I've fallen for a handful. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, some are really good. Sometimes, sometimes they're good. Sometimes people have 6 fingers and you just got to that's my biggest thing. Like I'm looking at a lot of photos now. I'm like, I got to look at their hands. Like if there's 6 fingers, I know it's AI and I'm being duped here. So, again, have you thought about, again, you guys, I know, Juan Ibanez did the video for it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you've used Juan quite a bit. is dabbling into AI, whether it's for single cover art, album cover art, or just maybe a music video, is that something that you would want to try out? I know there's some bands doing that. I know a lot of bands are like, we won't do it when it comes to writing music or singing, but like kind of dabbling in what can AI bring us when it comes to arts.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have dabbled in that a little bit, especially coming up with concepts and stuff like that. I mean, we would never just like go to AI and be like, hey, like make us an album cover, single artwork kind of thing, and just like take that and be like, all right, finished product. You know, we're always going to put our touch on everything and you know, do a lot of editing and stuff. And I just don't think that AI is to a point right now where you can just take the finished product right from AI and deliver it. But yeah, it's something that we definitely dabble with. You know, it's definitely changing the game where you don't have to necessarily be on location somewhere, you know, shooting photos and getting all this lighting set up and you know, spending all this money to travel somewhere to get a shot, you know, so it's interesting.
Yes. Now everybody in the band is all in different time zones, correct? Is that still? I think you had posted that everybody's in a different time zone.
Pretty close. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm in Mountain Time, and then Kay is in Eastern. Rob is in Pacific. So it's kind of a challenge to get us all on the phone at the same time when Kay's not sleeping, right?
Well, I know it's like she goes out to the West Coast and it's like 6 o'clock in the evening and she's probably like, yeah, I'm ready to go to bed because unless she's a night owl. Because I mean, that happens to me. Like I went out to Vegas for radio conference and it was like, people were like, yeah, we're going to do dinner at like 6:30. I was like, holy crap, this is like 8:30 my time. I'm like, I'm going to bed. So I gotta be up at 4:30. It's, I know obviously it has its challenges, but what's it kind of like working in all different, the internet makes things obviously very, you know, a lot easier, but what's it kind of like everybody working in different time zones and how productive when you get together and you can write together and you can rehearse together, how valuable are those times together?
Yeah, I mean, the time is definitely really valuable. This trip, y'all have been here about almost a week. We're just like right now we're really focused on getting our tour pre-production all set up, just building all of our click tracks and all that kind of stuff and getting ready to be out on the road. We kick everything off in July with Rockfest this year. Really excited about that, but yeah, we've been really focused on just getting all of our pre-production done. Wyatt, our drummer from Sleep Signals, is coming out and filling in for these shows for us. So he'll be out here actually tonight. He flies in tonight.
Nice.
And then we'll start hitting rehearsals real hard. We've been just kind of going through vocal parts and, you know, trying to make sure we all have our vocal parts real tight. We can sing well together and all that kind of stuff. It's like the stuff that you can't really do over the internet, you know?
And Rockfest, you mentioned Rockfest, you know, we both lived in Wisconsin for a while. You're originally from there. I've spent, you know, like a third of my life living in Wisconsin. Obviously in Illinois now, but Rockfest is such a massive thing. It's a Wisconsin staple. You know, it's been going for 28, 29 years now. I've worked it. Just the feeling of your first show ever getting to be at Rockfest with this new project.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking as well, you know, because usually when you're going to play like a big festival or something like that, you have a couple of warm-up shows to kind of make sure that all your gear is working properly. Like, you know, we automate a lot of things like our guitar tone changes and stuff like that. Kay and I were, you know, working the last couple of days trying to get all that stuff kind of synced up, and it's a little nerve-wracking when you get into a live situation and you haven't really played any shows yet with this new project, and it's all new music, like relatively new people. It's like, so it's makes you a little nervous, but I think actually we're our agent is lining up a couple of shows prior to Rockfest on the way out too. So I think we'll get a couple like practice rounds in, which will be real nice.
Do you know what stage you're on yet for Rockfest?
I do, but I don't recall what it is.
Okay.
I can't remember, but yeah.
All right. You'll have to let me know because, yeah, again, there's Who's on Top. You get to walk up the nice big hill and that everybody hates walking up and down, which actually isn't that bad. But
I think that's what it is.
Are you? Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good stage. It's really good. Yeah, it's awesome. Again, everywhere on that grounds is awesome. It's wonderful. So what else are you able to share with me when it comes to, obviously you have another release here, June 14th. That's next Friday. That's less than 10 days away, which is great. Anything else publicly you're allowed to share for what you got coming up, whether it's music videos, shows, whatever? Again, I know it's still a relatively new project and there's probably a lot of things you still got to work out, but what else are you able to share about the project?
Yeah, so the upcoming single is called Bad Love. We filmed the music video for that one too. It's we're really excited about it. Like I said, it's a really synthwave heavy track, and then it's got like a big breakdown in it that you wouldn't expect. Except now I just told you, so you will expect it. But yeah, we're super stoked about it. Like I said, it's I've never released anything in my career like that before, so it's really interesting. I'm excited and nervous all at the same time. We'll see how the reaction to it is. I can just picture all the metal people just kind of be like, "What is this?" But it's like, just listen through the breakdown, you'll be happy then. But yeah, otherwise we've got a bunch of stuff lined up for the rest of the year. We just actually went and filmed a video in Tucson, Arizona. We're releasing a short film with it.
Nice.
Really excited about that one too. I can't really talk any more about that yet, but that's coming soon too. We should have an EP dropping, sometime before the end of the year here. Working on some tour dates right now for the fall, and yeah, I mean we're just keeping busy, man. It's gonna be a good year. It's a good way to kind of kick things off.
It's awesome. And again, Eyes Like Midnight track, Digital Deity. You can hear it every single Saturday night on New on Q. Robert, I know I've asked you this question before. If Tristin and Kayla want to take a stab at it, they are definitely more than welcome to. I like asking about the favorite complete albums question, the no skip records, your favorite no skip records of all time. Whenever a band is new on any interviews with us on QLZ, it used to be a blog post called Favorite Fives, diving into your favorite 5 complete albums. If you want to share more or less that amount, you're welcome to. But both of you, your favorite complete albums, your favorite no skip records.
Go for it, Kay.
Oh,
no pressure.
That's a good one.
No pressure at all.
Probably one of my favorite albums of all times is Brand New's Deja Entendu album. Of course, Atreyu's The Curse. That's also another favorite. Anything that Polyphia has done.
Okay.
Anything Spirit Box that is done, I'm definitely a fan of. And then probably the newest band that I'm getting into, or one of my favorites right now, is a band called Dreamwake. So, but
awesome.
Anything that they're doing.
We're featuring them on Monday.
Awesome.
Monday morning. So yeah, memories. Yeah, they just got hit. I saw they got hit in an accident, and they're like, "Hey, it's been a few busy months for us." I'm like, "Guys, it's okay. You've been through quite a bit. It's all right." So we've had a couple listeners request that, like, "Hey, can you get this band on the air and feature them?" So that's cool. They're a band I want to dive a little bit more into as well, but it's a band that I know some people here are excited about. So that's sweet.
I think mine is like really eclectic. Like I always grew up listening to a lot of different genres, so I would say Deja Entendu is also one of my favorite ones. I think it's like all of our favorites. We were talking about that the other night, actually, but that's a big favorite of mine. I really like Andy McKee, so like some instrumental stuff, which is what got me into like really technical guitar playing and like bass playing, things like that. Evan Brewer put out a solo album that only has bass on it.
Okay.
I love that thing dearly. It's like 10 years old, I think, at this point. I still listen to it. Really, I could put any Chevelle album up there for me.
Which one? Sorry, I cut out. Which one? Chevelle?
Chevelle.
Yep.
Any of the albums. I could, what is it? Sci-Fi Crimes is probably one of my most favorite of them. And honestly, this is like a guilty pleasure. I like electronic music a lot, which metal community's gonna be like, you go away. But Zed's Clarity album, if you listen through it, is so well produced and it is so technically well written. I don't know. That's a guilty pleasure of mine.
No, it's cool. We've had people share Alanis Morissette. We've had people share Dave Matthews. We've had Bruce Springsteen. And then obviously, we have, a lot of Metallica and Soundgarden. So it's your favorite. It's your list. Like I've told every band, I'm like, it's not my list. It's yours. Nobody else's. It's yours. So it's like, if it's weird or it's all over the place. I mean, we have some people that it's hardcore metal and then it's, something, acousticy. And it's like, that's fine. It's your list. So again, three of you, thank you so much for hanging out, making this work, dealing with my dog barking, all that fun stuff. So again, Eyes Like Midnight, the track Digital Deity, you can hear it on New on Q each Saturday night. And again, Robert, I probably won't see you at Rockfest. I have to make it back up there at some point, but if you guys come on through, you're always welcome in the studio, and appreciate the time.
Yeah, we'll definitely make it through sometime, man, for sure. We'll make a point of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us. Appreciate you.